Let me get everybody zoomed in. People, what's going on? You guys already know who it is. Your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. Welcome to the Painful Truth. As you guys know, I'm always going to talk about financial topics every single Tuesday night or Monday night. And then, of course, we got the Relationship Thursdays where we're talking about real topics. Shouts out to everybody that's going to be tuned in tonight to, of course, learn the reality of when it comes to real estate. We all know, okay? We all know that real estate is that asset that a lot of people talk about. A lot of people talk about real estate for a lot of different reasons. And today I'm going to give you 5 to even 7 different ways you can make money in real estate. As you guys know, I'm a life coach. I'm an investor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a swing trader, as you guys can see if you follow me on social media. I'm always trading stocks. I'm always investing into something. As you guys know, I made a big announcement today, just invested into 18 different cryptos. And at the end of the day, people, you guys got to understand, as you're growing and elevating in life, that is the future of life, and that's where you need to be. Now, I want you guys to know when it comes to the world of real estate will always be the ending goal, if you really think about it. I haven't met one wealthy person in life that's not invested into either real estate, stocks, or entrepreneurship. And now this world of crypto, as you guys know, is a whole different world, and it's definitely something. Make sure you do your due diligence. You should be looking into if you're going to start investing into the world of entrepreneurship and generational wealth. As you guys know, my name is Bobby from Mentourme. Shout out to everybody that likes the video, share the video. Make sure you guys click the like button so this type of content continuously play every single week. Tonight we're talking about 5 to 7 different ways of making money in the world that we call the stock market. Now we got to really take time to understand this, okay? The stock market is one thing, but also we got to talk about the real estate market. Let's really take time to understand the real estate market right now. Sorry about that. What is the real estate market? Now, we got to understand a couple things I want to clarify for a lot of us. We have this thing where we automatically think in order to make money in real estate, you have to be licensed. In order to make money in real estate, you have to have a whole bunch of money. There's been a big misperception when it comes to growing in the world of real estate. And I really want to clarify a lot of different things that some of you may know or may not know when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship in the world of real estate. One is that money is not always the most important part. As long as you know the right people and you can leverage them, in other words, you know how to broker the deal, you could put the deal together, connect the buyer and the seller, you could definitely make a lot of money in real estate. A lot of us have this thing where we think naturally in order to make money in real estate, you have to have a whole bunch of money. In order to make money in real estate, you have to have a license. At the end of the day, real estate is all about relationships. Real estate is all about growing. Real estate is all about understanding where you need to be, and at the end of the day, growing to where you ought to be. I want you guys to understand, first and foremost, let's talk about brokering a deal, right? Is it true to believe if you could connect a seller and a buyer in the world that we call real estate, you can make a lot of money? Now, a lot of you sometimes have opportunities that pass you by that you can't take down. So instead of you passing that deal on to somebody that's going to benefit off of it, a lot of you tend to just let the deal pass you by, not realizing if you actually control the deal. A lot of us don't understand how important that is, controlling the deal. If you actually control the deal, you'll be able to see a lot of wealth opportunities in the world of real estate. A lot of us have this misperception that you have to have money to make money. You have to be licensed. No, you have to first understand what is a deal. You have to present to 2 different people that there's an opportunity. And as long as you can understand those 2 rules, you could put yourself in the middle of the deal and get compensated. So in the world of real estate, they call that brokering a deal. When I was growing up, you just call it middleman. But now in this world of real estate, or in the world of life, in the world of business, anytime you're connecting a buyer and seller, it's automatically you're brokering a deal. Now, yes, brokers have licenses in the world of real estate. Of course, they conduct business with a lot of other realtors, real estate agents. And again, that's another world. Now, I want you guys to understand that's more traditional. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's more traditional. I want you guys to first understand, let's talk about the traditional way of doing real estate. A lot of people, one way of making money in real estate, go get licensed in real estate. You pass the test, you pass the state exam, great. You are a licensed realtor. You're going to be helping people buy homes. You're going to be helping people list and pretty much sell homes. Now, we all know as you get into real estate, the goal is to be on the listing side. That's where all the money is, and that's how you work more effectively and more efficiently. Because at the end of the day, driving people around all night long in the world of real estate, you're going to really kill yourself. That's the honest truth. But again, both sides do make money. But I really, when I was in real estate to that degree, when I was a realtor going around listing and helping buyers find homes, I've realized that the listing side is the more effective way of making money. Because at the end of the day, as long as you as a realtor and you're licensed, you have an exclusive listing agreement, which just simply means you have the right to list this property for a certain amount of time. And of course, who gave you that ability, that privilege, is the seller. You are in the game. At the end of the day, especially, we're in a seller's market right now where everybody needs somewhere to stay. In certain parts of the world, like Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tri-County areas, there's not even enough homes. So imagine you being on the seller side right now, people letting you list their properties. First of all, the home has a 90% sell ratio in a couple of days, sometimes the same day. Second, you got to understand, as long as you have the exclusive listing, you put the property in MLS for sale, you put it on the database where people sell homes. At the end of the day, your job is pretty much almost done. That's how smooth that process is when you are a realtor and you're on the selling side, the listing side. Now, we got to really think about it. Roughly, on average, a realtor makes, let's say they get a 6% commission. You usually have to split it in two. You take 3% as the selling agent, and you give the buyer's agent 3%. But let's really think about this for a moment. You sell one home a month by theory, okay? And the home is $400,000. 3% of $400,000 is what? $12,000 net commission. Now, let's really think about it. You sold a $600,000 home. You made a 3% commission, which is your split. That's $18,000 you made a month. Times, if you could sell one home a month, times 12. That's a very good goddamn salary. A lot of you need to understand that's the more traditional way of making money in real estate. Actually becoming a realtor, getting licensed, trying to help a seller or a buyer, of course, either a buyer buy a home or a seller list their home. That's the more traditional way of making money. But again, this is the most common way that a lot of people know when it comes to making money in the real estate market. So I thought I'd definitely talk about it. But for a lot of you, understand there's other ways that I'm going to talk about tonight that you can make money in the real estate market. Number two, a lot of people may or may not know when it comes to the world of real estate, hypothetically, you own a property. You haven't paid your taxes. Do you understand at a certain point, your home is going to go to what we call a tax deed auction, where a person could buy your home for the balance that you owe, plus sometimes a little different. Hypothetically, you have a $200,000 home, but you didn't pay taxes of $10,000. That particular county is going to put, if you don't pay that tax by a certain time, that particular county is going to take that tax lien and say, hold on, they're going to put that tax deed on an auction and actually sell it for, as maybe instead of 10, maybe 50,000. So imagine somebody just bought a home that's worth 200 and they got it for 50. There's $150,000 arbitrage opportunity in that particular deal for somebody to make some money. And a lot of you need to understand how powerful that is, because a lot of you have this mindset that the only way that you can make money in real estate is simply by becoming a realtor. That's one way of making money. There are numerous ways. There's even more ways I'm going to talk about tonight. But tax deed is another way you can make a lot of money, especially if you're looking in tertiary markets that's underdeveloped to a certain degree. There's a lot of opportunity buying tax deeds. That's number two. Now, a lot of us, as we're getting older, the goal is, of course, to create what we call generational wealth. This is what real estate is all about. No matter how you make your money in real estate, the ending goal is to create generational wealth. And for a lot of you, it seems to me like you may not realize that at a certain point of doing real estate, if you're investing in real estate, or you're a realtor in real estate, or you're buying tax deeds in real estate, or tax liens, which we're not going to talk about today in real estate, you got to realize at the end of the day, the goal is to eventually create passive income. What do I mean by that? You got to think about this for a moment. At a certain point when I was flipping homes, I had to realize, hold on, I'm now going to start keeping homes and actually collecting rent. They say one man's debt is another man's income. But for a lot of you, you may not realize at the end of the day that you could actually make money by just collecting rent, by renting out your property to someone. And what's crazy is you don't have to buy the property cash. You can leverage it if you would like. Because again, it's all about numbers. It's all about how your numbers flow. Hypothetically, you bought a home that was a $250,000 home, and your mortgage is $1,000. So you know every month you have to pay the bank $1,000. But at the end of the day, you got to realize this too. What about if you realize that you could rent that property out for $2,500, even though your mortgage is only $1,000? Now imagine every month you're collecting a net profit of $2,500. Where did that come from? Remember, the person who's in your home is giving you $2,500 every month. Your mortgage is only $1,000, so you're netting $1,500 every single month. A lot of you don't understand how important and powerful that is. Imagine having $1,500 and you have 12 properties. You have 4 properties. 4 properties alone is putting you in a position where you're netting $6,000. No matter if you go to work or not, every first of the month, you have a net profit of $6,000 coming into your bank account, which is amazing because you're making money while you sleep. And a lot of you don't understand that's the goal. While growing up, I had to learn that we're not trying to work hard for the rest of our life. At the end of the day, the game is to eventually get to a point where you're working smart, not working hard. And a lot of us, sometimes we're having a problem understanding that. You don't have to work hard for the rest of your life. You have to start to work smart. And working smart simply means this. I'm going to start to invest into myself. I'm going to start to have income while I sleep. I'm going to start to have income coming passively. That's what we call buying holding is. This is called buy and hold. Pretty much you bought a property, you're holding it. You're not selling it. You probably fixed up, renovated a couple areas if you wanted, if it needed it. And you're just renting out, maybe even to Section 8 tenants. Some people say, well, why Section 8? You got to realize this. Section 8 is guaranteeing you a payment every first of the month. You don't have to worry about the tenant losing their job. You don't have to worry about the tenant having a catastrophe when it comes to financial employment. At the end of the day, you're getting money every single month, the same date, guaranteed from the government when you have a Section 8 tenant. But again, some people have their pros and cons about Section 8 tenant. I always recommend if you do take any tenant, you need to vet them. You need to do a background check. You need to do a credit check, even though it's a Section 8 tenant, just to kind of see how is that person financially, how do they handle themselves with life? Where are they when it comes to in regards to just financially in the world that we call today's world? You got to really understand, have the person been moving state to state? Is the person stable? Is the person mentally capable of making sure they don't destroy your home? Have you interviewed the person and told them, okay, here are the rules of my home while you live here? These are things to definitely talk about because you got to understand this person is in your home that you are probably leveraged on or you probably bought cash, whatever the case may be. And this person is in your home every day. They start to know your home better than you. You don't want to have a person who's not going to keep up with the tidiness of your home. You don't want to have a person who's going to destroy and damage your walls. You don't have a disgusting tenant in your home. And how do you, of course, not have that? You vet the tenant. And that's why it's always important. If you're going to do buy and hold deals, it's so essential that you vet tenants that come into your home. I'm telling you, it's so important. 1 second. Got somebody texting me. Hold on. Now, I want you guys to understand too, when you're buying and holding properties, there's a lot of questions that people ask, like as if, is it better to buy and hold a property in a mediocre area, middle class area? Is it better to buy a property in as some people may call the urban or the ghetto area? Where do you make the most money? Where is it more beneficial for you? See, that's why I say it's hard to say, because it's not just about the area. It's all about numbers. Because there's times where you could be in, as we call it, you could be in the hood, you could be in an urban area, and you're making way more money than a person in a middle class area. And you ask yourself, how is that possible? Usually, okay, you will make, when it comes to rent, you get better rental, of course, rates in middle class areas. But there is times, based on the economy, where you find deals of steals in the ghetto, in the urban area. And that puts you in a position where you're really financially winning, making a lot more money than you thought you would, because of the area you chose to, of course, go after. Now, can there be issues investing in the urban area? People, if you got any questions, make sure you, of course, comment below, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys are on my YouTube channel. Follow me on my Spotify. It's called The Painful Truth, Mentourme. I want you guys to understand, like, I've done some amazing deals where in the urban area, that one, I didn't even need money. That was one, because I was able to leverage deals. Two, I've done deals where when it comes to urban areas, you'll be surprised at how much profits that can be made if you know what you're doing, if you pick the right area. Because a lot of us have this mindset that it has to be a middle class area. And a lot of you don't realize, at the end of the day, just because it's a middle class area, that may not be the best thing for you. Because again, if you're financing or leveraging a product, which is in this case a home, you have to understand your numbers. It might be double the price you're paying because you're in a middle class area, so your mortgage is almost 80% higher than it would be in an urban area. But don't get me wrong, going in an urban area to collect rent, sometimes you're going to fight a little bit more aggressively for your rent. You may not have as much financially stable clients as you think in those particular areas. So again, there's pros and cons. But again, I can't say that the best way to make your money when it comes to buying and holding is middle class areas. And a lot of people believe that until they really get in the game and start, they don't realize that they're missing out on a lot of great opportunities by not just simply finding great evaluations and return on investments. People, your ROI is all that matters. That's the return on your investment. If the return on your investment is beating what banks are giving you, you're already ahead of the game. Because you already think about it. Banks are giving you 1% all year long. And at the end of the day, 1% is not going to make you rich. 1% can easily be beat. You could beat 1% with crypto. You could beat 1% with stock. You could beat 1% in a lot of different ways. But when you have a project in an urban area, hypothetically, that's giving you 13%, 10%, 16% on your money, that's a game changer. Do you understand how much money you're making? You're beating anything economically that could produce some type of profit for your, of course, dollars that's probably sitting in the bank. So a lot of people don't understand how important that is to pick the right area. Make sure you do your numbers. Because again, also too, I want to say this. For a lot of you that's going to be investing into real estate, and you're thinking about investing into maybe like, let's say something that has HOA, like a townhouse, or it's governed by something. It's imperative that when you're doing your numbers, you make sure you add that HOA and also leave an area of margin. I'm going to tell you what I mean, because you don't understand where this can go. Imagine you invested into an area that has HOA. The HOA stayed stable. Okay, your mortgage is $1,200. The HOA was $300. So every month you're used to paying $1,500. Hypothetically, something called a special assessment just simply means the association decided that they don't have enough funds to do the job that they're trying to do right now. Maybe rehabbing a pool, maybe painting all the units in a particular association. At the end of the day, they're going to assess that fee to you, and you got to understand. Imagine the new association fee is not $300 anymore; it's $700. So now you went from $1,000 a month to now you're paying $1,700 a month, and you was only collecting hypothetically $2,000. Now you are in debt for a $200,000 to $300,000 home just to make $300 a month. profit, that to me is not worth it. So it's imperative that you guys understand, I prefer, if you're going to go into condos, townhouses that have associations, make sure you look at the financials of the association, because that is so important when you are investing your hard-working dollars and putting your credit on the line for something that should be giving you passive income. Because at the end of the day, a lot of you need to understand what can happen. You could put yourself in a situation where you are in debt for 30 years for an asset that's not profitable. And at the end of the day, the only person that's going to lose is you, because the bank, you already signed. You owe them every single dollar in their eyes. They don't want to hear, oh, you underestimated your numbers. That's not how banks work. At the end of the day, they gave you the dollars to buy whatever you're going to buy. Their job is done. If you didn't do your numbers correctly, you're going to financially only hurt yourself. That's why I always tell people, if you're going to be investing and buying and holding some type of asset, let's say residential, it's imperative you take time to understand, one is, what is the property taxes? Two, what is the association? Three, ask the association, how are their financials? Very important to understand that. Four, understand the neighborhood that you're going into. What's the rent demand? What kind of rent can you demand in that particular city? It's very important because, again, a lot of you are going to be leveraged. And at the end of the day, if you're going to be leveraged, you need to understand what kind of rent can you collect based on the mortgage you have. Because if you got a mortgage that's $1,000 and you only can collect rent of $1,400, to me, that's not worth it. You did all that work just to collect $400 a month profit. Times 12, I guess, 400 times 12. For me, that's not worth my time. I have a rule, and everybody got different rules. I believe, if I'm going to put myself in debt, I like to make at least $800 or more per unit. I think that's very important, because a lot of you understand how important that is. Because in my world, the reason I talk about this a lot, because I trade stocks, so I make money very differently. So, there's times where I'm trading, I can make in like 10 minutes, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. So in my eyes, it's very different when I have to go put myself in debt just to make $200, $300. That's not worth my time. I would rather go trade stocks or do something else to make that type of money, because to me, that's not enough. That's just my personal opinion. But for some of you, it's imperative you take time to understand. That's why I always say, if you're going to do a buy and hold, do your numbers. Do your numbers before you get into the buy and hold type of lifestyle, which is, of course, passive income. And it's a great feeling to wake up every morning to know that every morning you have $6,000 to $8,000 or $10,000 coming in net every month in your direct deposit account or your mailbox from people who had to go to work to pay you rent. That's how this world works. Somebody has to be on the debt side. Somebody has to be on the income side. The question is, what side do you want to be on? Do you want to be collecting income where that's somebody else's debt? Or do you want to be, of course, going to work to make sure you pay somebody else's debt? It's really up to you. Now, number 4, remember, the first one we talked about was being a realtor. That's one way of making money in real estate. Number 2, we talked about tax deed. A lot of people don't realize that at the end of the day, if people don't pay their taxes on their property taxes, you could actually buy it on a tax deed auction. It's a great way to save a lot of money and make a lot of money buying properties. Number 3, I talked about the importance of what? Buying a home and holding it and just collecting rent. There's nothing sweeter than just buying properties and collecting rent. Number 4, buying and flipping. This is very, very lucrative when the market is down. This is also, again, when you're investing into flipping homes, you got to know your numbers. You also need to understand the importance of having a plumber, a carpenter, a roofer. It's imperative that you know these type of people, or you can leverage them to come check on the property before you even buy it. Get an inspector to inspect the property before you even buy it to rehab it. Because some of you don't know how to, of course, lay out the costs, the rehab costs for a property, and you're just so excited to take on a rehab project, and you end up losing badly on several deals because you decided not to get an inspector to inspect the property and give you a rough estimate on what it would cost to fix some of the issues that the home has. So number 4, we're talking about flipping property. You sometimes hear people say flipping houses or rehabbing houses. This is so important because this is a great way of making money. Hypothetically, you bought a property for $100,000. It could have been cash, it could have been finance. But the property can, of course, sell for $200,000. They call that the ARV, the after repair value. It can sell for $200,000, but you bought it for $100,000. At the end of the day, you guys got to understand that $100,000 opportunity, aka arbitrage, is a great opportunity for a lot of people to make a lot of wealth in the world of real estate. In a seller's market like how we have right now, you have to find markets that's tertiary, that a lot of people don't want to probably go to, because in a seller's market, everybody is looking for homes. Everybody is selling homes. You don't really have too much. I can't say you don't have too much opportunities in certain areas. You have to find underdeveloped areas. You have to find tertiary markets that have growth opportunities for you to make that spread. But a lot of you don't realize that based on the fact that you might be in, let's say, in Florida, you might be in, of course, Missouri, you might be in Alabama. There is a lot of opportunities in certain cities and states to make a lot of money, but some of you are not even understanding what an opportunity is. Flipping a home is a great way to make money because that's usually one of the best ways to make money based on if you're looking for short-term growth, short-term profits. Think about this. You bought a home for $100,000. You put $20,000 into it. That's $120,000. You sold it for $200,000. You just made $80,000. Of course, you got to back out commissions, title fees, property taxes, and many other things. But at the end of the day, you grossed $80,000 profit. And that's important because that's what rehabbing does. And there's a lot of opportunities to rehab properties. A lot of us don't understand that's another way of making money in the world of real estate is when you rehab properties. Number 5. This is a very unique way of making money in the world of real estate. I've done several deals, wholesaling deals. What I like about wholesaling deals is you're controlling a deal without owning it. Let me tell you guys this one more time. You're controlling a deal without owning it. A lot of us have this mindset that, again, when I was talking about this earlier, it takes money to make money. No, it doesn't take money to make money. It takes you understanding an opportunity and knowing what to do with it in order to make money. I want to have you guys understand in this world of real estate, if you could control a deal, meaning a seller is probably losing a home. A buyer wants to buy the home that the seller is losing, probably going into foreclosure. If you could find out how you could squeeze yourself in the middle of the two, you could make a lot of money. And what's beautiful is you don't have to close on the deal. You're just transferring. You're just assigning the deal to someone else. And that's a great way to make $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 by just wholesaling deals. Just connecting two people you're going to make a small spread in the middle just to pass it over to somebody else without closing the deal. And a lot of you understand wholesaling is a great way to make money in the right markets. Now, let's talk about, I know I said 5, but I want to give you guys 2 more. Unorthodox deals where hypothetically, this happened. We made some good money off a deal like this. Maybe about $38,000, I think, last year on a deal like this. You have a person who has a home, and the city has liens on a home maybe for $200,000. I like to call these type of deals unorthodox deals, but they still fall in the element of just controlling, not owning. Imagine you have a home that the person owed to the city, I don't know, $100,000. Maybe they didn't cut the trees, they had cars on their yard, all type of different violations that they never took care of. Do you know there's some people that will see a deal like that and say, well, there's nothing there. Not realizing at the end of the day, if there was $100,000 worth of violation, do you know you could actually get that $100,000 violation down to sometimes 5% of the $100,000, which means $5,000. Do you realize now there's a $95,000 profit opportunity, arbitrage opportunity in that deal now? A deal that somebody else found worthless became a deal that is now very profitable, because now there's a $95,000 spread in it, because as long as the person could get the city to readjust the violation, because now they're telling the city, I'm going to take care of whatever the violations are. A lot of people don't understand how important that is and how much of an opportunity it is to find deals like that. Deals like that have a lot of great value. And here's what's so crazy about it. Deals like that is just simply brokering deals, connecting people, controlling deals. You do not need to have money to make those deals happen. That's the crazy part. You do not need to have money to make those type of deals happen. I'll give you another example. Hypothetically, you have a person going to jail, and their home, they bought it for $200,000, but here's the truth. They need, they're financially broke. They need $80,000 or $40,000. But at the end of the day, you know that $200,000 home they bought is worth $300,000. If somebody would give them $40,000, they're willing to, of course, transfer the ownership to that person, because at the end of the day, all they want right now is $40,000. They're willing to give up the whole house because their life is on the line. I like unorthodox deals like this because this is a great way to make a lot of wealth. That's another way of making money. A lot of you need to process. It's imperative you process these different types of things going through your mind, because sometimes you guys don't realize a person is losing a home. A person is going through something catastrophic. And at the end of the day, sorry about that, you don't realize how much of an opportunity it is for you. And as long as you understood the reality of what you could have done if you would have just focused, you'll be surprised how much money you can make with deals that somebody else thought was trash. But now for you, it's treasure. And you're making 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 off with no money. It just takes understanding an opportunity. And the last one I want to talk about before, of course, we close out. Some people just get paid just for finding a deal. They like to call it a finder's fee. You found the person losing a home. You don't know what the hell to do with it. But you know if you present it to this individual here, that individual will say, look, I'm going to give you $1,500 anytime you find a home like this. You do 2 of those a month, that's $3,000. You do 3 of those a month, that's $4,500, just for finding an opportunity for somebody else to finish the opportunity. So people, tonight we talked about 7 different ways actually that you can make money in real estate with or without money. And I'm going to say this again, you don't need money to make money in real estate. You need to understand how to broker deals. You need to understand what is an opportunity and how to present that opportunity to the right people. And you will be surprised how much money you can make in life. Appreciate everybody watching the Painful Truth tonight. Make sure you guys share this video. This is amazing. Appreciate all the subscribers that I'm starting to get. Appreciate everybody that's following the movement on Spotify, on Facebook, on IG. Make sure you follow me at Mentourme, The Painful Truth. People, it's imperative that you understand there's a lot of ways to make money. And don't forget, people, this Thursday night, we are having our Relationship Thursday, 9 p.m. alongside, I got my special guest coming in. Make sure you guys are tuned in at 9 p.m. this Thursday night. Mentourme.com. You guys enjoy. May God bless.